everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live. I'm Christine Dahl, the founder of Fashion Angel Warriors. So excited to be back with you after taking a little hiatus last week. We had our Fashion Bootcamp Masterclass, which was amazing. We had all these amazing women come from all over the country. They flew in for this awesome week-long masterclass, and it was a huge success. So I'm super excited to be back. We do these Facebook Lives every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, inside the Fearless Fashionpreneur Facebook group, which all of you are in, obviously, if you're watching this. So tonight we're going to be driving. I'm not personally driving. My husband is driving, so don't worry. I don't believe in doing these Facebook Lives while you're driving. You can cause accidents that way. So you'll never see me driving while doing this. However, I am in the car, so the Wi-Fi connection may not be the best, so bear with me a little bit. In the meantime, today we are going to talk about how to work with a fashion coach. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the fashion industry that I'd like to address, especially for all of those that are looking to hire a fashion coach. So, hi Mary Cruz, how are you? So please, when you do join, give me your hearts, give me your thumbs up. I almost said farts. Thumbs up and hearts combined, that would be. Give me your thumbs up and your hearts. I love it. It's like oxygen to me. So I love seeing you guys on. I do these videos for you. I try to add as much free, great business content as possible so that you can all become successful. Because if you win, we win, and it's a win-win situation. So give me your thumbs up, give me your hearts. Please share this video with all of the fashionpreneurs that you know so that they too can take advantage of this. If you do share the video, type shared in the comments below so that I can actually send you a little gift. I will send you all the notes from today's lecture so that you have it and you have it readily available at any time. And I think that's all we wanted to talk about. So let's talk about our topic for tonight, which is how to work with a fashion coach. It's really super important, those of you who are considering working with a coach. And a lot of this can be applied to any type of a coach that you're working with, whether it's a personal trainer or a business coach or something like along those lines, a health nutrition coach. A lot of these can be applied to any type of a coach, but I'll specifically be talking about fashion coaches because that's what I am and that's what I do and that's what my business is all about. So recently I've been getting a ton of people coming to me, and I've been hearing a lot of horror stories about working with different fashion coaches and consultants and what kind of goes on, and it really has shocked me lately, and so that's kind of what prompted me to want to do this Facebook Live specifically about fashion coaches. So I have my little top 10 tips for how to work with a fashion coach. Hi Aisha, how are you? Nice to see you on. And so hopefully this will be useful for you. So number one, do they walk the walk or just talk the talk? Meaning, does this person actually have the experience needed in order to properly coach you? You know, you want someone that has proven success, someone that has done whatever it is you specifically are looking to do. You know, in fashion, that's probably starting a fashion line. And so obviously you want to hire someone that's already started their own fashion line, right? And not only that, but I like to say also that the person should really have some industry experience. You know, it's very easy these days for someone to just sew their own clothes and say they have their own fashion line, right? And they've made everything in their own home and they've sold it to their friends and family, and to say that they've started their own fashion line and now they can help you. And I swear I see these people all the time on YouTube putting up all these crazy videos. And so it's really kind of scary, okay? There's certain things that go on in the industry professionally that unless you've actually worked in the industry and have industry experience, you're not going to understand those things and you're not going to be able to teach your clients those things. And so please make sure whoever you work with, whether it's me or someone else, that they actually have industry experience and they've actually started their own line, you know? I like to say it's kind of the same as hiring a personal trainer, right? You're probably not going to hire a personal trainer who's overweight and out of shape. Now, you know, keep in mind that the trainer might at one point have been in really good shape and maybe they had competed on all these different levels for these body competitions and all these different things. And maybe now they have personal issues or health issues coming up, right? And that's why they're out of shape. But it's good to choose someone that's actually done and been where you want to go. And of course, you don't want to always judge a book by its cover, right? So in the example of the personal trainer, you want to find out their experience. Maybe they've competed at top national levels and have all these amazing clients that have lost weight and all these things, right? So you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but you do want someone that has experience doing what it is that you're specifically looking to do, okay? Number 2, are they working on their own line while at the same time coaching you? So I'm not hiring a personal trainer who's also in the process of competing for their own bodybuilding competition. And the reason is because they're not going to be able to devote the right amount of time and effort into helping me if they're focused on doing their own thing, right? And the same goes for fashion coaching. I'm the queen of multitasking. I love multitasking. I do it all day long. But at the end of the day, and even when I had 3 businesses going at once, there's no way you can devote the amount of time needed to dedicate and help your clients if you're also working on your own thing, and this is my personal opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to be upset with me after listening to this, but I don't really care. Back when I had my own business and I was working on my own line and coaching my clients, I quickly realized that I was doing a disservice to my clients by not being able to give them my full 100% attention. If I'm working on my own thing and I'm coaching clients, there is no way I can give you 110% of my attention because I'm splitting my time between 2 different businesses. Not only that, in my opinion, it's kind of a conflict of interest, right? If you're working on your own line, and let's say I have a manufacturer producing my own line, I'm probably not going to tell you who my manufacturer is as my client because I'm not going to want to share that information with you, right? So I'm going to want to keep my manufacturers and my pattern makers to myself, because if I tell you who's manufacturing my line and then you start manufacturing your line with them, what happens when I need to get my stuff done and the factory's too busy making your stuff, right? So I'm probably not going to share that information with you. So it's kind of a conflict of interest. And so in my opinion, it's really not right. And it's really not, the right thing to do if I'm working on my own line and then I'm also trying to help you work on your line. So I personally would not work with a fashion coach that is also doing their own thing while at the same time trying to coach and teach you. Number 3, have their clients had success, and is it directly related to them working with the coach? Now, this is a tricky one, and I'll explain why. So, for one, it's kind of like going to the gym, right? One person could go to the gym and they totally lose weight and get in shape, and then another person goes to the gym and doesn't lose any weight and doesn't get into the shape, right? So, is it the gym's fault that that person didn't get in shape? No, the gym has the same exact equipment, the gym has the same resources, the gym has the same classes available to both people. It's just that one person took advantage of that and one person didn't. And it's the same thing with clients, right? So some of my clients take advantage of all the information I share with them and actually work it, and some of them don't, and I always say that, things won't work unless you work it, right? So the gym won't work unless you're actually working it. And I go to the gym all the time. I love going to the gym, and I like using that as an example because it's a really good example. I'll see someone on a machine and they're totally doing the exercise not correctly, and so I know they're not going to get the right results out of it, right? So you want to look at, is the person actually doing something? I have a lot of clients that will take my entire Fashion Startup Intensive course and not do anything with it. And then I have other clients who take the course and they run with it and they're doing awesome stuff, right? Hi, Daniela. How are you? Nice to see you on. So it really all depends on the client more so than the actual coach. Also keep in mind that people lie and social media is fake. I'm sorry to tell you and to burst your bubble, but everything that you see online is not 100% accurate, and not everyone is 100% truthful and honest. And I see a lot of coaches lying about what they've helped their clients do and this and that, and really they haven't helped their clients do anything. Which is why I always recommend calling up the clients yourself. So if you're considering working with a fashion coach, whether it's me or someone else, specifically call up their clients. I have no problem sharing who my clients are because I know if you call them, you're not going to get a bad review. I have no problems with any of my clients. I've never had an instance where someone was not happy or satisfied with my work. And my clients will be the first to tell you that Christine is great and I just didn't do the work. Or Christine is great and I did the work and this is what happened, right? So they'll be honest with you and they'll be truthful with you. So if you are thinking about working with a coach, definitely ask to call up their clients, or even just ask who their clients are and then you call them yourself. That way you know for 100% sure they're not just giving you their best clients, that you're randomly selecting some of their clients and calling them yourself. And then that way you can hear, some honest feedback and really get the truth for yourself. Also, at the same time, keep in mind that a lot of clients will have success that's not directly related to working with the coach. I've had instances where I have clients just awesome, doing great things, and sometimes things happen because of something I taught them, and sometimes things happen just because they're awesome and their product is great and they're actually working it and they're hustling and they're doing whatever it takes, right? So I won't ever say that something was directly related to me unless it actually was. So just keep that in the back of your mind as well when you're looking for fashion coaches. Number 4, do they work on retainer only? I'm glad you guys are liking this. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Do they work only on retainer? And so me personally, again, this is just my personal opinion and just the way that I work, I feel that I shouldn't have to lock you in to signing a retainer with me in order to get clients, okay? If I'm doing my job and I'm good enough as a fashion coach, you should want to come back and pay me over and over again, okay? I shouldn't have to lock you into a 6-month retainer, monthly fee, or a year retainer or something like that. I easily could, and there's a lot of my competitors have retainers, and that's how they operate, and I just don't agree with that. It's not something that I feel is ethical, and it's not something that I feel is what I need to do in order to help my clients. And I found that the clients of mine that are serious do come back, and they do continue to book packages with me. And the ones that don't, I typically tell them, I don't want you to continue paying me because you're not doing what you need to do in order to succeed. If you're not going to put in the work, what's the sense in wasting your money and paying me, right? So that wouldn't be ethical to me. That's like being a con artist or a scam artist, right? If I'm taking your money knowing in the back of my mind that you're never going to succeed, then I am scamming you. That's flat out what I'm doing. And so if you were a client of mine and you really weren't doing what it took to get the work done and to succeed, I'm going to tell you, look, you're flat out wasting your money. I don't need your money. Trust me. There are a million people in this world. There are enough people that want to start a fashion line. I will get business. God will provide. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to do the necessary work, I don't want you as a client, because your success or unsuccess is not going to make me look good. If you don't succeed, I don't look good as a fashion coach. So I only really want to work with those that are looking to actually do the work and get the stuff done so that it makes me look good at the end of the day. So if you look good, I look good. It's a win-win situation, right? So me personally, I wouldn't work with someone that offers only a retainer. Aisha says, since I've attended the boot camp, at what point would you recommend doing a coaching session with you? Whenever you are ready. That's my best answer. Definitely whenever you're ready. Whenever you want to talk. I do offer 20-minute consultation sessions for free to kind of go over, we strategize a little bit to go over what would be the next best steps for you, whether it's working one-on-one, whether it's doing the group coaching online, certain things like that. So I have a ton of different services, and we can talk whenever you're ready. So I'm here when you're ready, Aisha. So that's number 4. I just don't personally agree with working with people that offer only a retainer. Number 5, are they willing to share with you who's manufacturing your garments, and are you paying the coach directly for everything? So let me explain this. So there's a lot of coaches out there that will offer to manufacture your products for you and do not tell you who is actually manufacturing your stuff. That is a huge problem, and it's caused a lot of issues in the past, okay? So I've heard from numerous clients, I've had people come to me with these horror stories of all their production got messed up and their consultant just walked away because they don't want to be involved. The consultant doesn't want to be on the hook if something goes wrong with your production because they're the ones that got you this factory, right? So I don't operate that way. I introduce the factory to you straight away up front from the beginning so that you can start forming a relationship with them and you can start working with them directly. And part of that is because I want to be completely transparent and honest, and I want you to know who's actually making and manufacturing your goods for you. And also because it's a lot of headache to be trying to conceal who's manufacturing your stuff, and now you have to pay me and then I have to pay the person, and it's just way too much going on. So it's too much of a headache for me, to be honest. And number two, I'm a very honest person and I want to be transparent, and I want you to know who you're actually manufacturing your goods with. And I'll tell you that a lot of consultants do this because they're scared. They're flat out scared that if you know who you're manufacturing your stuff with, you'll no longer need the consultant. And in my opinion, that's stupid, because if you're doing your job as a consultant, that person should understand that they do need you, and they need you every step of the way, and you should be providing enough information and enough value to your clients that they will need you every step of the way. And you're not just, people aren't just hiring you just for your manufacturing contacts, right? So that's just my opinion. And then the second part is you don't want to be paying your consultant for your fabric or for your trims or any of this stuff, right? You want to be paying the fabric vendors directly. So I don't accept any payments on behalf of my fabric vendors. And fabric vendors ask me all the time, oh, do you want me to give them prices, or are you going to give them separate prices? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give them separate prices, because the price you offer them is the price that they pay. I'm not going to tack on my own fees on top of that and then make you pay more just for going through me, okay? I'm not going to act as a middleman. I'm not going to add on all these fees, and a lot of consultants do this, and in my opinion, it's wrong. So you should be paying the exact same price, whether you're getting it from me, through me, or you're getting it directly from the vendor. And that's just my opinion, and that's just what I believe as a coach. So you'll never see me ask you to pay for your fabric through me, or for your trims through me, or for your manufacturing costs. You will be paying the manufacturer directly. You can go and visit the manufacturer. You can have the manufacturer's contact info. You can call them directly, whatever you want to do. And that way everything is transparent and you know what's going on. This is your line. This is your success at the end of the day that's on the line. And so I don't want to be responsible for that. So I'm putting all of that in your hands so that you can really take accountability for it. And at the same time, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, we'll come back to that. So number 6, the 6th thing that I like to look at, and that you should really look at if you're considering working with a fashion coach, is their personality. So everyone's got different personalities and everyone likes different things, and this is really just a personal preference. You know, there's certain things with me. I have my own business coach, and I'm constantly looking for different coaches. You know, right now I'm looking specifically for a Facebook ad coach because I need help with my Facebook ads, right? So when I'm out there looking for people, you know, there's certain things that I look for. Number 1, I don't like people that curse. I just don't. It's a personal preference. Maybe you don't care. Whatever the case may be, this is just my personal preference. I really don't like people who curse. And to me, it's because, you know, what's inside is what comes out. So if you've got bad things on the inside going on, that's what's coming out of your mouth, right? And you won't hear me curse. I don't like to curse, so I really don't like to work with people who curse. That's just my own personal opinion. Oh, thank you, Kayan. You're so sweet. It is rare to have integrity, you know, but at the end of the day, it's my reputation on the line. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say before. So it is my reputation on the line before, which is why I only refer to you the best manufacturers, the best fabric suppliers, the people that I've personally worked with or clients have worked with, and I know that they're going to give you whatever you request. They're going to give you the right thing at the end of the day, because my reputation is on the line. If I refer you to somebody and they give you bad quality or bad product at the end of the day, you're going to come back to me and you're going to say, hey, Christine, this person really screwed up. Like, what's the deal? So I am very selective with the manufacturers that I work with the fabric vendors that I work with. Hey, Nita, how are you? Nice to see you on. Oh, thank you, Mary Cruz. That's so sweet of you, too. And Aisha. So it's my reputation on the line at the end of the day. So I am very selective with who I refer out, and it's another reason why I try to only provide the manufacturers that I work with to any of my clients or anyone that has come on one of the fashion tours. I don't just offer it up to anybody. I try to be very selective with the people that I do refer these people to. Okay, so back to what were we talking about? Personality. So I don't like people that curse. That's just personal preference of mine. Another preference of mine is I kind of really don't like people who constantly flaunt how much money they make. You will never see me talk about how much money I am making as a consultant or how much money my clients are making. That's really none of your business and none of anybody's business, in my opinion. And it's also my opinion that people who typically talk about things like that are the ones that really have no money actually in reality. So if you're out there flaunting, oh, I made, 6 figures in 10 months and blah, 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 and all this stuff, you probably also spent 6 figures in 10 months. So don't always look at what people are saying they made, because at the end of the day, that might not be actual net profit. That might be what they actually made, but then if they spent it all, they have 0 at the end of the day, okay? So I don't personally like people that talk about how much money they made or how they made their clients this much money or anything like that. In my opinion, that's none of your business. That's none of your information. You shouldn't be talking about that on social media. And I'm just very weary of people that do that. So that's just my opinion. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't agree. Mary Cruz agrees. Thanks so much. So that's my own personal opinion. So look at their personality. You want someone that's going to vibe and jive with the way that you are. That way you guys are working well together. So that's really important. Number 7, how much free information do they give out? Okay. I personally don't like to work with a coach that doesn't give out any free information. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. So number 1, this is the name of the game. If you're not giving out free information, this is just how digital marketing works these days, especially for someone that's a service provider, right? So a fashion coach or any type of coach or consultant is a service provider. They're selling you information. So in order to, really show that they know what they're talking about and really have, transparency like we talked about before, they need to kind of give you a lot of free information. That's why I do these Facebook Lives for free. That's why I do newsletters. That's why I give you free fabric sourcing guides if you sign up on my website. I have tons of free information that I consistently give out on a daily basis. Half of my clients don't even take advantage of all the free information. I should probably do a whole Facebook Live just on that. Because you're too busy or you just don't notice or you're not paying attention, you're not following me. So it's really important that you are taking advantage of the free information. But again, going back to why the coach that you're working with, you want them to be offering a lot of free information, because most likely if they're giving really good free information, you can only imagine what the paid information is, right? So if they're kind of not giving you any free information, or they're being really hoardy and they don't want to give out all that stuff, right? Then they're probably not actually providing you anything of value when you actually do, in the end, pay for it, right? So I give away so much free information because I know that the value and everything that I provide for the paid stuff is so much better. And people, when they hear what I'm giving away for free, are shocked that it's free half the time. They're like, wow, I would have paid for this, right? And then it obviously entices them to then go on and work with me or purchase an online course or whatever the case may be, right? So that's really important that they're offering free information, because you should get a little taste of what they're like. You should get a little taste of how knowledgeable they are and what kind of value and what kind of content they're really going to give you once you do actually pay. So it's kind of the whole try before you buy thing. So they should be giving out a ton of free information. And I know plenty of coaches that do not give out free information. They keep things very exclusive. They don't post a lot of stuff. And that's weary to me. I'd be weary of working with somebody like that. And when I am looking for a coach myself, that's the first thing I look at. What is the free information? What kind of stuff are they giving me? Would I have paid for it if it wasn't free? That sort of stuff. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Hey, Nita, thanks for joining. We're talking about how to work with a fashion coach. Give me your thumbs up. Give me your hearts, guys. I love it. It gives me so much energy and helps me to keep going. So number 8. Yes, we are on number 8. Do they cater a timeline or plan of action specifically to each of their clients, or is it cookie cutter? Now, I will put a disclaimer on this. I personally work with my clients in many different ways, right? So I have one-on-one clients that I work personally one-on-one with. And then I also have group coaching online courses that are available, and different programs that are available in a group setting or online course setting. So in the group or online course setting, yes, it is cookie cutter, and that's why the price is a lot lower than working one-on-one with me. However, my one-on-one clients, I specifically sit down with them in the beginning. The first session we have, we go over, well, first of all, I send them an assessment form that they have to fill out before working with me so that I can get an idea for where they're at, what their budget is like, what their timeline is like, all of that information. And then from there, we sit down and we strategize and we come up with a calendar and timeline plan of action together, okay? And that's super important because I've got clients that are all over the place. You know, if you're starting a high-end women's wear line, your timeline might be very different from someone that's doing e-com and they're doing some ready-to-wear, you know, better price point line, right? So it really all depends. Then I have other clients that aren't making their own line at all. They're just simply wholesaling other designer stuff. They want to have an online boutique. They're not making anything themselves. And so their timeline and their plan of action is going to be totally different from someone that's starting their own fashion line. So it's really super important that whatever coach you work with is actually sitting down with you and giving you a plan of action and a timeline step by step of what you need to do, okay? I once had a client come to me and they were working with another coach and they literally said they didn't know what they were supposed to be doing next. And I was like, okay, how much money are you paying for this? And I cannot believe your coach has not sat down with you and actually given you a step-by-step plan of action. So that's super, super important. I wouldn't work with anyone, whether it's a fashion coach or any other type of coach. Even a personal trainer should give you a timeline, right? How many days a week are you working out? What are you supposed to be doing on those days a week? What are you supposed to be eating? How many meals per day? How many calories? All of that stuff plays into consideration. If you don't know what the next steps are, how can you properly prepare for it? So I'm all about timelines and calendars and planning. So that's what I do for my clients, and that's one of the things that I like to do. Okay, number 9, we're almost at the end here. Number 9 is, can you easily get your questions answered? And this is a big one for me. So one of the things that I offer all of my clients, all of my one-on-one clients specifically, is unlimited email access, which no other coach, I don't think you will find anyone on the planet that offers this as part of their consulting. And I offer it because I know that you're going to have questions. I know that things are going to come up and you're going to need to email me. Now, I do, of course, put a disclaimer on that. If you email me with something super long and lengthy and it requires a full-blown conversation, then yes, you will need to set up a time to discuss it. However, if it's a quick little bit of information, you just have a quick question, I know Kayon, you can vouch for this. She will email me all the time, okay? Obviously, I ask that you don't take advantage of this. I do have a lot of clients and I try to be as responsive as possible. I will try to reply within 24 to 48 hours to your emails. So I do ask that you obviously don't take advantage of it, but it is really important that you get your questions answered. Now, for my group coaching and online course clients, I do what's called Facebook Live Q&A. So every week I will hop on inside the Facebook Mastermind group, and I will personally answer all of your questions there. That way you have a chance to get all of your questions answered. And the Facebook group is also great for that as well, because not only am I going to answer a lot of your questions, but other classmates, other members of the group are going to be able to help you as well and give their 2 cents and give you the information that they need. So that's going to help you as well, not just have one perspective from me, but other people's perspectives as well. So the last one, number 10, is the coach just answering your questions, or are they actually anticipating your needs? And this is a big one for me. You know, I have clients that will call me and they'll just ask me questions, and we can set up a time to do that. And you can ask me questions and I'll simply answer your questions. But if you get to the point where you don't have any more questions, then it's my job as a coach to start to strategize and tell you what the next steps are, right? It's my job as a coach to anticipate what your needs are going to be, because a lot of times in the beginning, especially if you have zero fashion background whatsoever, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know what the next steps are. So it's my job as a fashion coach to really anticipate your needs, to not only just answer your questions, but also anticipate what's coming up next, what you need to be on the lookout for, so that you know what to do and you can be prepared, right? I once had a client come to me and she spent a ridiculous amount of money on a one-on-one session with another coach, and she literally said it was a waste because the woman just literally sat there and totally dismissed her and was acting like her questions were childish or stupid, or that she didn't know what she was talking about, and literally just answered her questions, which is great. It's great to have your questions answered, but it's also even more important to have your needs anticipated, right? If you ask me a question that doesn't make any sense, or I can see that you're going down the wrong road, it's really important that me, as your fashion coach, I tell you what you need to be on the lookout for, or what's coming up, or the next steps to take, right? So that kind of goes along with the one we just talked about of anticipating your needs, of coming up with that calendar, that timeline, that plan of action. So that's it, everyone. Those are the 10 steps that you should really be on the lookout for when you're hiring a fashion coach. I hope that was helpful. We have arrived at our destination, so I do have to run. But I love you guys. We will be back next Tuesday. Hopefully, I'll be doing a live interview with a fashion designer. So for those of you who attended our fashion panel event last week in New York City, we are doing live Facebook interviews with different fashion designers once a month. And so I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to do a live one with all of you guys. So be on the lookout for that email. Be sure you're following me. Don't forget to share this with all of your fashionpreneurs. Type shared in the comments so that I can send you a little gift. I'll send you all the notes from today's lecture. That way you have it, and that's it. So I'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Fearless Fashionpreneur Group. Love you guys. Bye.